There is a degree of security that's provided via computer share and their particular type of operations, which is over and above our intent to remove shares from the DTCC, which gives you a degree of security that, you know, would have been relevant before the short squeeze idea. And so years and years ago, many, many years before the GameStop short squeeze, very important institutions decided that their most important assets they were going to sell, they would do it via a direct registration method rather than on a dodgy stock market. And the institutions who were most favored this idea were those who already knew that DTCC and any equivalent of them were a huge scam. And as you probably can work out, the only people who actually knew that.
Federal scientists are working around the clock to probe its secrets. Once we understand the bug, we will defeat it.
Were the people at the DTCC and the equivalent when it was all set up, and the governments that facilitated it. So those governments, quite often, you'll notice that if you want to buy their bonds or gilts, the place that you'll go to buy them isn't some shitty broker, but is in fact computer share. But don't tell Kenny and Co. Right? Anyway, we're not know any of that stuff. We're just out here being a bunch of stupid apes arguing with each other, because that's what's interesting. Is the arguings with each other. We argue whether or not that is going to happen, or whether or not that's going to happen. We'll do about it. But the truth is, we all know what's going to happen. Is that if the prices, GameStop go down, we buy stupid amounts of the thing, and if it goes up, then we all get really, really rich, and then that's sort of the way it works. But there's other people who seem to think like, no, their operating margins are too high, and you're like, yeah, their operating margins are too high. Yeah, they also had like debt up, billions of dollars of debt, and shit operating margins. Not that long ago, I bought loads of it. Loads. Right, it's significantly better now. Significantly better. And then also, in that sector, there weren't very many companies that were able to issue shares, raise funds, pay down debt when interest rates were really low. And now interest rates aren't really low. It's a competitive advantage, Joe. So if you're looking for like the weak get weaker, then you'd be like, well, that particular buffalo is kind of shifted into the middle and is obviously coming up. So I'll go for a different one. That's what you'd think, wouldn't it, if you were out here catching buffalo after a long, hard day riding around the Serengeti with GameStop, buying the GameStop and stuff.
Everyone's doing their part. Are you? The war effort needs your effort. At work, at home, in your community.